You just fuck around with it.
Yeah.
Do it on my personal quick. Here.
Bucks and Bills.
Going live at Barney's right now. Look at that. Banter at Barney's. The historic Barney's Beanry. For a little football, a little bit. I don't know what you were talking about tonight.
LA Times famous.
That's right.
Yeah, did you see the LA Times article, Megan? On Barney's Beanery being the hottest place to be in LA. It's all sunny, the article. Marco's all over it. Oh, it's not?
I'll show you the day after I talked about it.
Tell Luke.
Although he does look like a shooting. Got like long hair and long beard.
Tell Luke.
But yeah,
So he was convinced. Cinnamon
All right,
Toast
we're going to check the
Crunch.
audio real quick here. Live from Barney's Beanery.
Yeah. Man, this is one of the... I thought this game, too, because Bills fans, Bills Mafia is pretty strong. They're just late. They're jumping on tables.
That is probably what's going on.
That is. I feel like 5:30 is usually when people start rolling in anyways. Yeah, it's only 5:12.
Yeah, we're fine.
Oh, are we live? All right. Okay. I actually want to get this article right. So there's an article in Barney's Beanery that just came out in the LA Times titled "The Hot Gen Z Bar in LA is Barney's Beanery." Wait, what? That's actually in the headline. Wait, what? So we are coming to you live from the hottest bar in Los Angeles, Barney's Beanery patio. Marco Del Vecchio, our host, is the mayor, the unofficial mayor and promoter of Barney's Beanery.
It's funny how much he's all over the article.
Well, it's
Does
also...
he have the main shot?
Yeah.
Front page?
Yeah, front page. In the lifestyle section of the LA Times. The one thing I'm annoyed about with the article is that Purple Banter was not mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, we've been holding it down for a
We've been
whole
holding
year.
it down.
Doing these podcasts, live streams out here. Consistent.
Gen Z looked up to us and they're like, this is the coolest place in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Barney's is a spot that a lot of locals have been coming forever. It's steeped in historic drama. A lot of cool artistry has come out of this place.
Huge.
This is where what do you know, like the specific history of like the big artists that have like sat around, scribbled on notes?
Well, the one
Who
that
was
I
it of?
always talk about is Quentin Tarantino writing Pulp Fiction in a booth in Barney's Beanery, which is true.
Okay, so that's a
Huge.
real one.
I mean, Janis Joplin. Who's in the corner from the Doors? What's his name?
That's Nick Swartzen,
No.
right?
Yes.
Nick Swartzen's always here.
He's always here. He's a daytime though. He's a daytimer.
Yeah.
He doesn't get along with the Gen Zs.
Well, and that's important to note.
yes.
That's the thing. There's a lot of daytimers that have held this down for a long
Held
time.
it down.
And that's actually why we're here. You know,
100%.
we're like, yo, this is one of the greatest spots in the country to watch a football game. Not because there's one particular fandom. Everybody's here.
Yep.
And then it's the perfect, unique mix between, oh, this is like just a townie bar.
Yep.
And then also you have like random celebrities walking in, new young people that have just moved to town. So there's a lot
Everyone,
of like,
when they move to LA, finds their way to Barney's.
Yes.
That's
And
just
so we're like,
true.
yo, if we're going to build our company, we're going to start sitting around at the bar here and starting to figure it out. Pretty much every single relationship
know.
that we've built through or with Purple Banter has been at a relationship that's been a part of this bar, even to the point that me and you, we were like, yo, I didn't even know you're in LA. What the heck? We're watching a game together. And then like, let's start linking up and doing these Vikings weekly. Fast forward. Now at Purple Banters, we've been grinding on it for at least a good like year and a half.
Yeah. And we're hosting the hottest Thursday night football podcast in all of the land.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal
Yeah.
out here. Really surprised that, again, like going back to the article, that to think that like the mainstay is not been involved. We're like, yo, Purple Banner's been here. Like,
We weren't even asked to comment. I'm like a little offended. Should we call it the journalism in LA Times? Maybe this is what we're doing. We're calling out the journalist who wrote this article.
well, and I was gonna definitely reach out to them and do a letter to the editor,
Yeah.
and at least tell them that like the real hero here is Bob Stevenson.
100%.
We have Timmy Bounceback. We have Nick Swartzen.
Lena Abascal. Lena, we're calling you out.
Lena has obviously never been here.
She's literally never been here.
But then again,
Should we look her up on Instagram?
I am definitely daytime crew. You're probably the most unique blend of Barneys.
Yeah.
Of you actually know day and night, and there's not that many people that have that cross section, and you truly do, right?
Oh, she's a Gen Zer. She's been to Barney's
She found it on TikTok.
3 times in her life. I'm judging this girl. Of course, Marco follows her.
Yeah, that's why I would love to get her on here next week
Should
and
we?
be like, "What's your order?
yeah.
Like, do you actually know like about the chicken wings? You know, about the breakfast sandwich?
I know.
You
Oh
know
my
how
God.
good the hash browns are.
Actually, total
fried
Gen
pickles.
Z moment. And like, you know, she looked cute. She was like rocked these bell bottoms with like a cowboy hat and blah, blah, blah. And Luke's wings were sitting here and she's like, next time you're here, you should get the dry rub. It's really good. And I was like, are you telling me what to order at Barney's Beanry?
She was right out of Saddle Ranch.
Oh my God.
Like, she came from Ohio.
I'm like, have you had
and she's
anything
like,
else
we're
on
going
the
to Saddle
menu?
Ranch, and then Saddle Ranch is like, it's Barney's now.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm like really offended that she instructed my order.
And had she ever even had
I know.
the normal buffalo
No way.
wings here, which I think are the best in the country. I've been saying it for a long time. Even as a hometown supporter of Buffalo Wild Wings, even the boneless medium wings at Buffalo Wild Wings don't hold
There's
the
no
throne to
way.
that.
No way. Yeah.
And if you wonder why we're looking into the corner, we're looking at a plate that got devoured by Luke. So if you're new to Banter at Barney's, this is a podcast, a live show. It's a real cross section between culture and sports. We are definitely playing a game of if you build it, they will come. They're not here yet. Okay? They're not here yet.
Also, people in LA show up late, so we're not mad at it.
But we've also, you in a solo mission out here, even have brought business into our company just by solo missioning.
Yeah.
So
Barney's.
that's why we continue to hold it down, because we met Timmy Bounceback out
Yep.
here. That spawned into a great relationship where we built a podcast for a year with him. And we just continue to go to try to make it happen.
Yep.
So
100%.
we sit out here and watch the Thursday night game. Me and you don't know a lot about other teams in the Vikings.
Yeah. Not this year. I've
I
been way too busy this year to be like fully in on the football. Like weeks 1 through 5, I knew a lot. I was doing like the gambling situation for a minute, so I was like dialed in. And then this week, just kind of, I was like, week 8, what is this?
Well,
What's
this
happening?
has to be a weird year for you, because I also say that I said a royal we there when it's not true, that because you were working at Red Zone last year, you were dialed in for the last decade of
for the
everything
last
that's
decade.
happened.
I watched more football. I can confidently say that I watched more downs of football from every single team in the NFL than most people do. Realizing now that when you are at home, I've always been on set watching football as an adult. So like I didn't realize at home you get one game where you get Red Zone, and then you're like, you know, Red Zone's amazing, of course, but you're getting the highlight reels or the negative highlight reels where you're getting on Red Zone. You're not getting like the true what's happening in the games and what these teams look like. So
I
it's
could say Red
interesting.
Zone was pretty great, but what YouTube TV has been doing
It's great.
with football between pro and college,
They nailed it.
it's I love everything.
They're doing
about
a
it.
great job. They're nailing it, which is what makes me sad as like someone who worked for DirecTV, who had like the opportunity to make. They never thought that the streaming game would take them out of business, and they were just too late to the game. And that's how people like YouTube TV, like all of these small streaming platforms that are popping up too, they're killing it.
Well, that's what's been interesting, like for our company, is trying to understand like what's going on in the industry, watching this huge new evolutionary shift happen, and we're continuing to be like, even today, you're like, yo, what's Kick? And
Yeah.
Kick's been kind of popping for the last
No
6
idea.
months, I would say. They've given some big creators like $100 million.
They got some money. don't they?
QXC is a guy who I wouldn't know
I don't know
anything
that
about
is.
him. He got like 100 from him. I think Aiden Ross got a bunch of money.
Okay.
I think FaZe Clan got some.
Did
But
you hear about FaZe Clan though?
no, what they do.
Whoo! Okay, so they IPO'd last year, and there was like this big thing that it's gonna come out extremely high, and bad time to IPO, and so they came out hot. The number just wasn't great. Now they're at like 29 cents or something. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
So you're saying buy.
Buy. Let me pull up my Robinhood right now.
I would love to know what FaZe is really doing. I know that FaZe Banks is a Wednesday night guy here in this new Hollywood crowd.
Is he okay?
Yeah. FaZe Clan's always been hard for me to understand
It's
what they really
17 cents.
do. Just
It
buy
is
it up.
17 cents. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, why would you
What
not?
did it go at? What did it start at? Go to
There was
the,
like a whole article.
no, go to the full year.
I
You're not.
I can
you're
get
not on
Robinhood. I can get Robinhood up. Yeah, that's a good call.
But this, I mean, a lot of what we're trying to figure out is even how to, play into some of these live streaming elements to doing a live show, not only out here on the patio at Barney's, live on Instagram and YouTube. I saw that, Instagram has a live stream feature now that you can actually connect to this,
No way.
but your account has to like be eligible for it.
Okay, so we
So
have to
all
get
of
to a
this
certain
stuff is
level.
continuing to like evolve.
Okay, so how do I do
Literally like
this?
right before our eyes.
1 year.
And then you go to max.
Okay.
And then, woo! So they started at, well, scroll down. Why doesn't it let me do that?
Meh. You had it. Here.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, again, tough time in the market, but definitely it's interesting to see.
Oh, they IPO'd at, looks like they IPO'd at like almost $10.
But it was
9.7.
projected to be way higher. I think that was the other thing going into it.
Yeah, they
Like,
went
it
up to
was
like
projected.
17 and then,
You know who's killing me?
It's a reverse
that I'm
hockey
just
turf.
holding on to it? Fucking Penn. Oh, I bought Penn at a bad time.
you still believe, huh?
I
Well, I guess-
I also just don't have a lot of skin in the game and like anything I invest in. So my whole thing is like, I just am gonna keep everything because I don't have the time or energy or knowledge to
Even
play the game.
I think it's good to just sit.
Yeah, just sit.
Things are going to go up and down,
Yeah.
a lot of down probably in a little bit, but that was one of the things we were discussing today. I've been on hiatus because I just had a baby a month ago, and then so I got fat. I gained more weight than my wife who had a child. And so then obviously the child comes
Sympathy
out,
eating.
she immediately goes
Yeah,
down
she looks amazing.
9 pounds because baby's 9 pounds or whatever. And
That's
then,
actually not how that works either. Yeah.
what do you mean?
That like if you give birth to a 9-pound baby, you're not down 9 pounds. That's not how that works.
Well, the baby was 8 point whatever pounds. You gained water weight after because of obviously your body's
Your
like,
placenta-
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is she went down, she started dropping real quick, and then I'm still up. But what I was trying to consider today is I'm getting the chicken sandwich at Barney's, and it was
Yeah.
fries or vegetables. And then I was just listening to the news driving here and thinking, okay, so World War III is going to start within 3 to 6 weeks. I don't know if I'm draftable, but I do know that if I get my physique too much in shape, regardless of age, they're going to say, we need this guy.
Yeah.
Front line.
I mean, if your cholesterol's too high, you know.
But that's, so
Yeah,
if I
that's what
go
I'm saying.
fries and
Yeah.
fatten up and they
Yep.
can't even get my ass into a Humvee.
They're like, he might have a heart attack while he has.
We
a
don't
gun
need him
his
in
hand.
Ukraine.
No.
I don't know. So it's a hard time to
We
diet.
did not figure out though what the age is to be drafted, because back in like World War II, you would have been like literally a grandpa at 35. So
Yeah.
so it's not. We're figuring this whole new world out.
Yeah, it's pretty important stuff as we sit here and watch the Bills and the Bucks.
Do you watch? So the concept that we're doing here with like the live stream and engaging with our large fan base here at Barney's Beanry, we're stealing, borrowing things from like what Barstool did over Super Bowl, or the Manning cast is doing with the ESPN.
Yeah.
Do you watch the Manning cast over regular Monday Night Football now?
The last Manning cast, I did get into Manning cast for just a second after they had like Marshawn Lynch like early on.
Yeah,
that
was
was
hilarious.
so
Remember he was
funny.
like swore like 3 times.
Yeah,
on
so that
camera?
was the one that I think put the Manning cast really on.
It did.
And
And he
I'm
had
not
like
a
terrible.
Manning cast guy, though.
You're not.
No.
Why? But you do like Pat McAfee on the sideline for
Well,
college.
so this Pat McAfee, and then they had McConaughey.
Well, that was just
playing
an iconic
Texas.
game.
That was,
yeah.
I really like what they're doing on the sidelines.
But
Yes,
what
it's
is different to you with the Manning cast versus the sideline with McAfee?
It's just the closeness to the game.
Okay.
So you
makes
really
sense.
feel like you're hanging out with some bros that are
Your
on the
sideline.
sideline of the
Okay.
game, because that's really what's happening. I don't need Peyton Manning and Eli just staring oddly with their glazed eyes
Yeah.
telling me what's happening.
I mean, it is kind of interesting because I feel like
You like that one better?
I have not watched McAfee enough. I wouldn't say I like it better. I like these concepts that people are
Yeah.
diving into. Obviously, we're going along with it too.
I would
so it's
take
great.
Eli Manning over us. I think that's a better dialogue, a better show, better production, more
No,
intriguing color.
I think our production's better. Their like guests are always in and out. Their sound's off. This is way better.
Yeah, that's true.
Aaron Rodgers on Monday, like his audio was off the entire time.
Doesn't it make you feel better when you
Yeah.
see these companies that have like $1 billion behind them,
Yes.
literally with a B and a few more Bs?
Yes.
Uh,
And they've got like
they struggle just as much as we do.
50 people only on the audio version, and they're like, Aaron Rodgers sounds like shit. Like you booked Aaron Rodgers and you can't hear a fucking thing he's saying.
This is why I continue to be interested in seeing like what Dana White does,
Yeah.
because even what they do with Power Slap on Rumble, their production is different. They know how to do a live
he knows
stream better than
entertainment.
anybody.
He knows entertainment. He really does.
I want to see them shift more into like all categories of sports, because one of the things that Dana was even talking about, let's talk about like Vegas Super Bowl kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh my
he
god.
wants
that's
to do a
gonna be wild.
UFC fight in the Sphere. You've seen the new
Dope.
big circular
Love
sphere?
that.
That's just odd. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Why did they build that? What was the thought process? Just like a new entertainment thing?
Well,
in
it's
Vegas?
so U2 is their that's their residency spot.
Really?
So it's supposed to be the most like immersive entertainment with
Huh.
taking technology to a whole nother level.
And like putting a YouTube entire album on people's Apple. Remember when they did that?
Did they just drop it all in the?
And every single person had the entire album. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
oh yeah, it was like
It's
it was like a
intrusive.
mistake, but it was like every single person was like, why do I have the U2 album on my Apple?
I like
Music?
U2. U2
Fine.
makes me cry.
Does it?
There's something about when he hits this certain note, it's just like it's like the
feel like he's
opposite of
like
a
a
brown note. It just makes you
very-
just like cry.
He's like very in touch on a lot of different
Yeah.
emotions. He's like spiritual. I get it. I was talking about something with someone the other day in regards to Red Zone and how fun it would be if Red Zone was on an HBO, which was one of the platforms I was talking about it, because you could have like an R-rated at Red Zone. You could have the players truly mic'd up and they're like, fuck this, like truly saying whatever they want. How fun of a broadcast would that be? So you've got Nickelodeon and like Toy Story animated shit, and then you've got real football red zone situation.
Well, that's what I've always, even with like our relationship when we were like with doing a lot of Bob stuff, that's what I've always desired, something to be available for where, yeah, 100%, where you can be a little bit more loose, get a little bit more directly to the pulse. And I think everyone's starting to fight in those genres. Just no one's particularly figured it out perfect
Well,
yet.
I just think it's wild that ESPN even went that route. And I know it was definitely like a COVID type situation. Like, hey, let's try to figure something out with these guys. But for them to take that approach when they're so corporate, they're so, in my opinion, boring. I think ESPN is so boring. So for them to make that like really industry change talent, like
Did you see the clip that went viral this last week with McAfee's show?
which one?
So the first hour of their Saturday football show is on ESPN.
Okay.
The second hour is on YouTube.
No way.
And so,
God, who's their lawyer? They got a great contract.
yeah. And it might be the third, but whatever. It's like,
Sure.
there's some point in there where there's a break. Their audience was so engaged once that time frame hit that they know the switchover happens, the entire crowd just starts yelling, fuck, 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 because they knew this is the moment you can swear.
No
And like
way.
McAfee and his boys were just starting to giggle. They're like, oh my God, our audience knows exactly.
Like to
that now you
have
can.
that power
Yeah.
over an audience. Talk about someone too, like, which is, he's obviously had an amazing career and everything, but he is really like brick by brick built that brand and his show into something truly amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hated that again, then he went back to ESPN, but get fucking paid, do it. Why not?
Yeah, because, well, and also, I think now that with like the way that the creator economy is going, we got so used to, let's say, like an Aaron Rodgers, for example, back in the day as a quarterback, you had to stay on the same team.
Yeah.
Now he goes to the Jets. Nobody's weird about that anymore. I think the same thing's going to start happening in this new creator economy where a McAfee show, they can do ESPN for a second. They
Yeah.
can bounce around. They can create their own thing. I don't think it's so much like lifelong deals anymore.
But it is interesting, and I'd love to hear your take on this, of creating something for yourself and building a wealth, but then so many of these people still go back to like the foundational big box companies like Bill Simmons selling the Ringer to Spotify. Again, same thing. I read a whole article with Bill on like, why would you do that when you built this? He's like, okay, why would I turn down generational wealth? And I get that. But how do you, in your own space, like, how do you create? I mean, look at Barstool, I guess. They're doing
Yeah.
it right. Like, sell to the man, buy it back. Is that the move?
I can imagine because, we continue to work for people all the time with like this ability to be like, okay, we have our company, but we also work for other people. We build other podcasts. And if I could ever get to a space where we are stable enough to build our own thing always and not and actually be able to like
Right.
support a creator and say, hey, you're coming on our network. We'll even pay you to be on it.
Yeah.
I would much rather get in a position like that than have to get like bought and paid for. Cause like before you know it, these people own you so
Right.
quickly and it's exhausting.
Well, that's why I'd be so curious to hear Portnoy talk like a little bit more about that, because they really went through it and they did that. They were bringing on creators, they were paying them. They was really like, do whatever the fuck you want. They brought in Erica as the CEO to kind of not legitimize them, but like create like some
No, for sure.
foundation.
No, she like one, I think she came in to legitimize everything and then just like clean house.
Yes.
Like, okay, we're actually going to be a business. I don't think they were a true like mechanical business
But
until
then
she showed
Penn
up.
comes in. You got to cool it on the sports betting. We're owned by a big conglomerate now, and then the deal goes away and they're killing it again.
Yeah. It just proves that even these bigger people have to sometimes go, well, maybe this is the move. That seemed to be more about like the gambling play of things,
Right.
where they're like, hey, we could either fight the legislation and build our own gambling network, or these people have it. It seemed like a perfect partnership.
Yeah.
That's why I think Barstool was able to pull away so quickly as well, because they weren't so foundationally just like strapped
Right.
to this thing.
That's true. Yeah, that was like a quick move.
But yeah, that's the world that we're trying to like live in a lot of the time, and it's an interesting one because it's really a feast or famine type of thing where it's like we can be sitting here, we do things okay, but are incredibly broke. When you see people that like are doing things a tier up or two, but they also have $100 million behind them or $5 million behind them. Shit, it's like I always think about like what we could do with 30 grand would be crazy.
Yeah, totally,
It'd be
totally.
nuts.
VC, you can give us a little, we'll build a lot.
Yeah, but we are still functionally able to do what you would still see like with different Super Bowl shows that you would see in LA. We fundamentally can kind of do the similar thing with only me and you and
Yeah,
like,
we haven't even talked about that. What do we do? Are we doing Super Bowl this year?
well, it matters
Is this a meeting right now?
well, it matters if like Sprouter is interested in
Yeah.
like taking things to another level,
I
right?
know,
So we have
yeah.
different deals in the talks of like, can we partner with somebody? Because we still do need other people's cash to be able to like
Right.
do Super Bowl the right way.
Right, and Vegas is just gonna be ridiculously expensive, so someone's gotta pay for our trip.
Yeah. Wait. So, I just Scottsdale felt so much like Vegas last
It
year.
did. It did.
When you say like it's in Vegas again, I'm like, didn't we do Vegas last year at the Super Bowl? But no.
Well, we
were
were
in
like
Scottsdale.
back and forth in Vegas like throughout that whole trip too. So it was like Vegas,
Yeah, that's
then
right.
Scottsdale, Vegas. So it was like a lot. There was a lot of Vegas in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in general.
I think that the Super Bowl is such an interesting thing, especially for like a company like ours. There's a sense that you kind of have to be
Right.
there in order to grow, because it always comes away like some level of beneficial.
You meet one person that is going to take you to a next deal of some sort.
Yeah, you
And
find a
you
new
also
character
just
to
have
chase.
to be like, it's so dumb, but like you're in meetings and you're like, oh my God, what time is your flight to Vegas? Like, it's like one of those like, okay, you're in the room, you can be in the room type situation.
Yeah, because you were trying to find like a guest on anything. They're like, yeah, we'll meet you in Vegas.
Yeah.
By the time it's like January, I feel like everybody just immediately punts to Vegas
Yep.
and says, yeah, we'll see you there.
We'll see you there. Exactly.
I mean, yeah, if the Vikings do obviously an auto 7-game win,
We're going to the Super Bowl.
yeah. It's gonna be a tough year though. Hold up. So we're sponsored by Atomic Rhino. I suggest these for anybody that has a child, has vague sleeping issues.
How did you start with the smelling salts? Because I actually don't know this.
Football?
But so, I mean, obviously with sports, but on a
Like on a human level, like but as a normal person.
yeah, yes.
So what we somehow, it was deep in the Juice Spot days when we were driving around, we found that they started selling these on Amazon,
Okay.
and I picked up a batch, and it feels like the least.
Was it a joke initially, or like, no,
Oh,
I think
for
this is-
sure.
Okay, you're like, I
And
can
then we
smell
started
this on
hitting them at
Amazon.
night, and we're like, dude, these kind of work. So I'll go on little phases where I'm like, don't you look like a crackhead?
Totally.
But they're doing it.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
doing it, and those are my heroes.
Yeah.
Blame them.
What's better? Ooh, I just got a whiff right there. That is the first, second, or third hit the best. Like,
The first is horrific.
it's horrific.
Now, I
But
think,
now you get the little third. It's great. Just a little something.
yeah, that can go deeper.
See, that's yes. Yeah, there's even still. A
It
little on
doesn't
top.
feel as intrusive for
Ooh.
some reason.
Ooh, it's great.
It's great. I like picking this up every once in a while.
How
Every
do
few
they make-
months,
yeah.
I'll just buy a pack and just like just slam them.
Pound atomic rhinos.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be our product.
yeah. There doesn't
Smelling
seem to be
salts.
that like residual effect of like, I don't know. You don't feel like there's not.
Are
like
you
a-
killing brain cells at all?
I don't know. It seems chemical.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are there ingredients? Okay.
We have a producer in the background. Do you want to look up smelling salts issues of cognitive
Yeah.
long-term effects? Early CTE or anything like that?
Yeah. Early CTE.
Would love to know more.
It says. Oh, so it's really just a lung and upper airway. Our producer's telling us that it's just an upper lung and airway issue. It might not fuck up your brain. So if you have lung issues, probably not. If you have COVID, probably not. But like post that, go for it. The first ingredient is alcohol. Oh, it's good for you. Lavender oil, lemon oil,
Yeah.
nutmeg oil. This is
Oil.
amazing. Just oil.
Yeah, and I don't think you can say I don't think you can say COVID on a podcast on YouTube or
Yeah.
obviously Big P or anything like that. But I have heard through the dark web or whatever that this is basically as good as the vaccine for sure.
Wait, you know what we should do? Because you know how there was that what do they call those? The pyramid scheme, like multi-level marketing?
Yeah.
Yeah, those. I think we should
Amway.
I think we should start that for smelling salts because if it's just oils, so you know, the essential oils, the girls from high school that hit you up and they're like, "Hey girl, how you doing?" And you're like, "I don't know who you are, Ashley Lynn, whatever."
If you could get those young mothers of 3
Yeah, this is
with
our
their
new
husband
advent.
who like is overly worked
Yeah.
and avoiding any intimacy with them, and they don't, God, they work.
Yeah.
And so if you could essential oil that, and they're just pounding those little sticks and
Yeah.
hitting like Instagram lives and being like, "Hey,
It
fam."
fixed my migraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like wearing they like put them on as like earrings. Like she's like, "I just love it so much that like I keep it here." We're onto something.
God, I've had some people just hound me with that. They're like, "You're business savvy. You should do it." Which basically always makes me feel like you have a lot of energy, but you kind of seem like an idiot whenever they come out to me like that.
What do they ask you for? Like,
To join.
but you're not selling essential oils. What's the business? Or they want you to sell essential oils?
Well, have you been pitched third level marketing?
Well, yes. But
I think I've been pitched the most. They're just like, "You're the type of guy."
you're the guy.
And it could be essential
Amway.
oils. It could be the toilet paper people. It'd be the energy
I don't
drink
know the
people.
toilet paper people. Huh?
There's candle people.
Yep. Candles, essential oil. I remember once we were at my ex's friend's house and one of the girlfriend of the whatever had like a crazy essential oil thing. And Dan had said, "Oh, I like kind of have a headache." And she turned it on more like I've ever fucking seen in my life. And she was like, "I'll be right back." And it wasn't one of
Brings out her kid.
Yes. And I'm like, I think I have some Advil in my purse. And she made him drink this like tea that she made from essential oils that like I put in my diffuser at home. And I was like,
Yeah, like a
don't
jasmine thing. Or
Yeah, like,
the
don't
peppermint oil.
drink that.
Yeah.
Like, you just put chemicals in your body. And she's like, "Don't you feel better?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think. I don't know."
See, everybody unfollows them. I always like put my notifications on like immediate.
Like, "Hey, girl."
No, because 6 months later they're always like, "I'm great, I'm great, I'm great," and then like you get like just the black Instagram with the white text being like, "Hey, I've been going through a lot lately. Like, we're doing fine, but like, I'm just gonna like go get off Instagram for a second." And I'm
Wait,
like, "Oh."
why? What happens? They just like go and
The third level
bankrupt?
marketing thing, it's a precursor to a meltdown.
Okay,
I don't know what to tell you.
interesting.
Even though I have some friends that kick ass.
Do they really?
Yeah.
In what company?
Amway.
Amway.
I have had some friends kick butt in the oil stuff.
Did they get
you can do well.
Did they get the car, like the branded car, or is that just Mary Kay? The Mary Kay car. Which one? Supplement con. Oh,
Yeah.
the supplement.
Yeah,
See, if
there
you
is-
nail it, you nail it. But like, ooh,
Yeah, I actually get it why people want to do it.
1,000%. Yeah. What was the supplement company? There was like, they make money. Yeah, it's crazy. But how do you get to that level? I mean, that's the question. You just make everyone in your life.
You just got to hound people. I mean, the tenacity on that.
Oh my
It's
god.
they're more tenacious than a drug dealer.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And just like no shame. You just have to be okay with the fact that like, "Hey girl, I haven't talked to you in a minute." You're like, "Okay."
I'm always good for a good like get rich quick scheme.
I love
So I was looking for Elof's push present,
it. Mm-hmm.
and they were doing a lot of smash and grabs out here in LA. And so I was like standing outside of YSL and Gucci and Nordstrom's, and I would always wait like 5 extra minutes to be like, if a smash and grab happens right now, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I just was never blessed with the crew.
No, man.
Yeah, but I was like, oh my gosh, how disgusting. I'm like,
Yeah.
Where's the number to sign up, dude? They got $300,000 worth of stuff from Nordstrom.
It's crazy. Yeah, that one was wild at the Grove when it was just like an influx.
Yeah.
That one was wild.
And to like communicate, like, you know, my communication skills are horrible. You work with me every day. To communicate that thoroughly with 40 young
Yeah.
like kids
Yeah.
who have like
Like
the
how do they like,
excitement
is it like
and
a group
testosterone.
text? Like what's the situation?
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
we could get them on our like ground force marketing team, they know what's good.
That's what we should do.
Yeah. They're just so incentivized by money.
I know.
And we only have
can't pay
unpaid
them.
internships available at Purple
We're like,
Banter.
do you want to have some water at Barney's?
Yeah. We pay with hope
We pay with hope.
and the ability to be better.
Nobody wants that. It's weird. It's
Mhm.
really strange. I think they should. Yeah. Yeah. How'd that push present go? Did you like it? You got the right
Yeah,
one?
Yeah, I got the
You
right
nailed
one.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I went to YSL.
But you got the right purse? Like the right one?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, got the right one. Overdrafted a credit card
You know.
and then just put it on 2 other ones. And then
What
one,
did they-
one
what
of
did-
them calls me on Mondays. But they'll be fine.
What did the cashier at YSL say to you when you're like, "Can I put this on 4 cards?" They just don't say anything.
Oh no, I think like they were like normal. I think they were like, yeah,
I also think that's normal.
yeah, I think they looked at me and they were like, that's so normal.
Yeah,
here."
yeah. I
Yeah.
really do think that's.
I think a lot of
extremely
people in
normal.
LA. I think honestly, I think LA's maybe the brokest city in the country.
Yeah,
So many people, I think, on
keeping
the
up with the
first
Joneses.
are completely empty
Yeah,
of cash, and then by like the 10th, they find themselves the ability to
at
go to, like,
YSL.
well, they get by the 10th they can finally like go get groceries.
Yeah,
But they like all their money went out for rent, and then they nibble their way back for food by about a third of the way through the month. Yeah, I think
Feel
that's
that.
just
I
normal.
feel that. I feel that. Who just caught that? We got first and goal, Bills. That's Dalvin's brother,
Yeah.
James Cook. Wow, Dalvin's like out of the NFL. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, I don't understand anything about that. I think it might have been like, must be a work ethic thing.
You think?
It's got to be.
Yeah, there's no reason that he shouldn't have an amazing continued career.
Yeah, because everything about the Jets, you would think he's a scheme fit, all these types of things. You got to have a team that wants to. Why would you have someone on a team that you didn't want to like build packages around and try to get the ball?
Right.
Unless you see him in practice and you're like, this guy doesn't care.
Which we do know he does fumble. Perfect. Now let's do a quarterback sneak here because I need a Josh Allen touchdown or a Diggsy. One of the two. That'd be great.
And they call this quarterback sneak like it's not butt thump,
The tush push.
the tush push.
Yeah, technically, what is the difference between like a quarterback sneak and the tush push?
A lineman behind them, pushing.
Okay.
You can,
But like it's still.
well, I think there's a new rule now that you can actually push the player. Before that was always
Yeah.
illegal.
Yeah. They're going back and forth on like whether they're going to
Yeah.
take that back or not.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody can make that play either, as we saw with the Vikings on Monday.
Yeah, I don't like plays where they say, "Oh well, there's like risk of injury because you're pushing
Like
this
you're playing fucking
pro
football. What are
athlete
we talking about?
from the back." Like,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah.
That's not real.
That's not real. 4th and goal. They're just going for it.
How did you feel about your Gophers this weekend? So I did start watching.
Okay.
It was intriguing. Did you like the
So,
call at the end of the
funny
game?
enough-
That felt odd.
Funny enough, I had already turned the game off. At like 7 minutes, I went to the USC Utah game. So I'd gotten to campus and I'm like, I was watching on YouTube TV on my phone, which again, YouTube TV is amazing. Like I'm
Sick.
in a 40-minute Uber watching the Gophers the whole time. It's awesome.
I stole every sporting event for the last 10 years before YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Everything I did, I'd grab from Stream East. Shouldn't say it, but it's a great site if you don't have any money.
So I'm watching it. It's like 7 minutes left. I'm like, all right, we're probably not going to win. See you later. And then it was crazy. But I think a win's a win. You got to take it.
Yeah.
What did you think from watching it live? There seemed to be a lot of confusion from the broadcast side too.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. Like, I understand the confusion. It did feel like it was more of a wave off of like fire, 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 get away from the ball than I'm getting the on.
But he did signal.
He did like
He did like
this.
okay, but we've seen this like so many times. Like
Yeah, well, the Nazis when they
yeah,
went across, yeah, Europe and stuff like that.
yeah.
But it was like more of one of these.
It was a no.
Yeah, but then the ball bounced too. Like it's like doesn't that cut it off?
College is different.
Yeah,
You can kind of just play.
but the first time that they've won
No,
but like
in Iowa,
in Iowa, it's been like
it's been like since the 70s. Yeah, but they've won multiple times in Minnesota, which is like the coolest trophy.
and I was ranked, right?
Yes, so that was a huge deal for them to lose. They were 25, I think.
Yeah. So and then the Gopher season's already over.
Oh, it's done.
So they allowed. So it is fun to just ruin.
Yeah,
a
just
rival
ruin stuff,
season
especially
for
because I
no
was
reason.
such a big. What? So what did that loss to USC do to the ranking? Let's see, because that was crazy. And again, I'm just not. USC's 24. I think they were 14, so dropped 10. I think they were 14.
It's rough.
Going into, and Utah's 13 now.
It is fun watching like a USC. I get the Caleb Williams hype. It makes all the sense in the world. Didn't like how he sat on the bench when his team was losing.
It makes all the sense in the world, but I've seen Pac-12 sports, and I know this is going to be a Big Ten sport, Big Ten team, but Pac-12 consistently looks amazing on television, amazing in highlights, and then when they're really put to the test, it happens all the time. They suck. They cannot live up to the national competition. And people just think that, like...
So you actually think that, like, them going to the Big Ten is going to hurt them?
No, I think it might be... I think they will actually get more recruits even more because then they're playing, like, whoever's coming to USC or UCLA are going to have a better program around, or better competition around them to play and shine in, too. So I actually think it'll be a good thing. But it will be definitely interesting, specifically after Caleb Williams leaves, to see how this USC team will fit within the Big Ten.
It's going to be weird for college football. I think it's better for a novice fan like myself because it makes it so much more isolated of, oh, this is the only division that matters.
Right.
Big Ten, SEC.
You don't have to watch.
You don't have to know like about 5 other things.
Yeah.
You can just say, oh, these are the big ones. There's it's almost like there's like a D1 and then there's D1. I'm in this category. I'm in this conference.
It's a lot of teams, but I am excited. I mean, just selfishly because to have the Gophers out here will be really kind of fun.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Midwesterners in California. So any of those games, the UCLA, USC, both of them have very strong fan bases, but it'll be interesting to see how the home games shift once you're getting like Iowa fans in there and Michigan fans. There's a million Michigan fans that live in LA. It's going to be really interesting.
I would like to see
that.
like college football almost take the stance of like European soccer, because now that they have such power divisions, I think a team needs to be able to move in and a team needs to get kicked out.
Oh, I
every
kind
single
of
year.
like that.
You know, because like we do
Yeah.
need like gradual change every once in a while.
Okay.
Instead of like just TV contracts and like,
Right.
these groups just like make these deals, and now this is the only teams that matter, and everybody else in the Pac-12 are basically fucked.
Yeah. That is interesting. I never even thought of that, and I didn't know too much about the European
Yeah.
soccer
Well, I just want
until watched,
I
like,
want the
Wrexham.
Tommies to be able to knock
Right.
out the Gophers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. You
So
want the Tommies to be able to be in the Big Ten,
I think it's inevitable.
that they get into the Big Ten.
Yeah.
They're not big enough. The school will never be big enough. I don't know how Northwestern
I think in
is
like
there.
25 years the Tommies get in the Big Ten.
Maybe.
But what I do think the Tommies will do is I actually think this helps the Tommies a lot because it creates such a haves and have-nots
Yeah.
that now teams is like Northwestern in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
See, that's where I think those teams will get kicked out over time,
Probably.
and then there will be a northern regional
Another-
conference
yeah,
that is
probably.
going to be like the Catholic religious schools.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, again, I think St. Thomas has just eyes on nailing basketball, and that's it. I don't think they care about football.
got it.
I think that's the move, and I think they're gonna kill it. I think it's gonna be so fun for them to be in March Madness.
Because Oral Roberts is in their division, and that's like a team that you always see like get into the Sweet 16.
In the last few, yeah.
So they're competing with those that every
no,
once
you
they're the
want-
Cinderella story every decade.
Yes, but you want them to get into the world of a storied program like a Marquette, like a Villanova. Those
The Gonzagas that like came out of nowhere, then
yeah,
stick.
like those weird Catholic schools that you're like, why, how the fuck? But like you're a basketball school. Yeah, Gonzaga is a great example. They're like a historic Marquette is crazy in the basketball world, but they don't have a football program. They're able to pull like a ton of talent from Chicago, Wisconsin, like all of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just think there's going to be room. And it's mainly because the Gophers I think are just done.
Yeah.
All of it, it's a wrap.
They just can never figure out their program. It's pretty wild.
Big Gopher fan over here with Katya. Though.
Yeah. I love the Gophers though.
Do you like the Gophers more than the Vikings?
No.
Okay. You like the Gophers more than Timberwolves?
No, because the Timberwolves for me, they're like my childhood team. Like we had season tickets to the Timberwolves. That's really what
That's your number one.
that was my found. It's not though, because I cannot with that fucking team. Like they are the most heartbreaking franchise organization that fucks up all the time.
Do we walk into this season because like the season opener was just like this week, right?
Yep.
So do they walk in this year with any value?
Oh, yeah, a ton of value. I think Ant is amazing and should be the face of the entire franchise, and we should get rid of Karl Anthony Towns while we still can.
Gotcha.
I am the biggest Anthony.
What
Karl
other
Anthony
pieces do
Towns.
we have on the team other than Ant and Towns that are like young,
Not
fun
done my
talent?
Timberwolves. Let's see.
Because I loved Pat Bev. That was,
He was
fun
great.
to have. I like him better as what
let's
he's
see.
he's a 76er now, right?
I mean, I'm still just like flailing from the years of losing Jimmy. I still absolutely hate, and we proved last year that Rudy Gobert trade was like the worst trade in recent NBA history.
Sure.
I mean, not from a young perspective, but I love Mike Conley Jr. being on a roster. He's got such a great, hard-nosed veterans, sixth man type situation. What's up, Cher Culver PR? Hey,
Oh, she's
girl.
out here.
Surprise visit.
Oh my God, hello, welcome. Thank you for coming to Banter at Barney's. Hi, do you know this is my friend Megan? This is Cher.
We have our second viewer in the audience.
Don't tell people that.
Comes heavily like in the purple, like huge super fan. And we love to see that. Yeah.
Cher, what is happening in the public relations entertainment side in the industry right now with all the strikes and everything? What's the pulse on the industry? Dead? It's still dead. Nothing. So like there's not a great moment for independent filmmakers to absolutely shine.
I think people are getting depressed.
Oh,
More depressed? My actor friends have been struggling for a
yeah.
second.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. So I finished Netflix.
It's like
it,
the
like-
entire platform.
Yeah, you know how it usually says like, would you like to continue? It was just like, you're done.
Congrats.
Like prepare for next season
Yeah.
of anything. We'll notify you when something else comes out. I'm scared because I finished Netflix. Like legit, it's done. Did Apple TV for a second. They had like 2 good shows.
I don't have that.
Apple TV's got some good ones. But they're just few and far between.
Yeah.
Sorry if we got a PR rep who's just tearing into things. It is an interesting time in LA because it felt like we were all able to take a breath there for a second.
Right. Like I needed a break in the summer, and now it's a scary break.
Yeah. Yeah, like it felt for a minute that like, all right, all the network execs are like, let me just go on my European vacation. We'll figure it out in the fall. And now it's like, oh no, we're gonna just destroy you.
Yeah.
Well, we do have some opportunities here at Purple Banter. Young, up and coming podcast network, huge upside. Obviously, everything up from here. Great shows that need representation, larger audiences, a sponsor. We don't even have to worry about sponsorships yet.
Yeah.
We're far from sponsorships.
No, we're not.
No, but we have some shows that are ready.
Yeah.
So if you would like to really rep some great shows on the come up, yeah, we are here and have opportunities for people that have optimism, hope, and like to start from the ground up.
From the ground up. Yeah, that's a great pitch.
Yeah.
Look at this dog. Get a drink. Okay. We'll come see you when we're done. I don't know.
30 minutes too long.
All right.
Love it.
Oh, look at all the guests. This is great. Oh, let me make sure that doesn't fall. Yeah, back to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are a terrible franchise in general. Every single year, love to come out when they play the Clippers and the Lakers, and they lose every single time. And we're just chilling. Usually get like a nice little ticket hookup, and it's pretty sad when it happens. I feel like I'm getting darker. Megan, did Virginia Tech win? And who are you playing? Okay, well, Syracuse sucks, but Virginia Tech is good, huh? No, Virginia Tech is not good, but they're absolutely dominating. When did we start doing college football on Thursdays? It's been a thing consistently. I always thought it was like, wait, really? The Gophers never did. Interesting. Thursday night football. Wow. Had no idea. That looks like Minnesota. Oh, it hit something.
What did I do? Oh, blacked it out.
We're back. The lights are back. Look how clean this looks. This is the best production.
Yeah, it's the best we've ever looked. I went on YouTube 2 nights ago and Googled the cameras that we use, and then took a YouTube 101 course on them. Lasted 15 minutes. Fell asleep at 7 minutes, woke up, and then finished it in the morning. And then now we have cleaner production.
It looks amazing.
So all you got to do is keep on trying. That's all.
Yeah. How long was the course?
15 minutes.
You fell asleep at
7 minutes.
Cool. That's a really intriguing content.
Yeah.
Very intriguing. Interesting. Give us a topic, Megan. No, give us something. What's the Dwayne Wade stuff? Oh, I did not know that he was
He R-worded?
no rape.
Huh?
Oh, is that?
R-word.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know
can't say
that.
you can't say the R-word on YouTube.
Oh, that's. Oh, you can't.
No,
Oh, okay.
because the higher ups are with Epstein, so you can't say it. They're like, that's our thing.
No way. Interesting. That makes sense why his rep didn't call me back this week. I'm like, do you want to be on a podcast? And he's like, oh, we're doing a lot bigger shit.
Did you look into it? Did it seem like pretty legit?
Interesting.
That's always
Wow.
it is. Whoa, is it pretty graphic?
What? So we just had Luke on Vikings Weekly and he didn't give us the whole lowdown?
Dwayne Wade R-wording.
Interesting.
Was it when he was in the league?
Poor Gab. She's been like,
She has got kind of run through,
she
huh?
really has.
these basketball wives, which she's not even she's a superstar.
She's a
that happens
superstar.
to be married to a superstar as well.
And like
Rough
he
run.
leveled up like in so many ways with her. You just fumble the ball.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, yeah, the power couple thing definitely works. So going back to football, do you think the Travis Kelce,
I hate it.
do you think it's real or not?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that I think are clearly a PR scheme, but also I think Travis Kelce is kind of the ultimate fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's probably part of him like, how can I get America's sweetheart to fall in love with me? And it's like a little game,
Got it.
you know?
I would be so surprised why she would do it.
Because he's hot.
Got it.
He's like hot and big and like he can like throw her around a little bit.
Okay.
And he's like a little bit of a bad boy, which she's never really had. Dwight Howard.
Wow.
That doesn't surprise me at
Threw
all.
D Wade under the
Yeah,
bus.
what?
Unreal.
It doesn't surprise me.
All right, just another black man in America. Jesus.
I did love. Did you hear what Charles Barkley said on? I think it was Tuesday on season opener. It was awesome. You know how they have live on NBA and TNT.
Okay.
So they had the commissioner on as like a guest, and they were supposed to cut to commercial. And the producer in his ear is like, "Okay, like go to commercial." And Charles Barkley's like, "I'm getting yelled at to go to commercial, but while I have you here, Commissioner, what do we actually do?"
Oh, I
about
love
these
that. Yeah, I
issues?"
did see this one.
Yeah, about the issues of domestic violence in our league. He was like, we should be at the forefront of handling this properly. And then the commissioner was like, obviously fumbled, didn't take a step back, but I loved how he was like, no, we're the NBA. Like we push limits on things and we make rules. We shouldn't just have to follow like what the NFL is doing, who does a fucking terrible job. And like every other sport. Like he's like, no, fuck that. Let's make statements here.
And so you felt like the commissioner handled it well?
I don't know if he handled it well. I think it was just I like Adam Silver a lot. It was one of the few times that I feel like I've seen Adam Silver stumble in a live setting like that.
Yeah.
He's usually pretty dialed in, pretty buttoned up. I think he was actually taken aback on
That,
what
like-
to say, which is hard. Like, what do you say in those circumstances? Like, that's not, you can't stand by. But it was very interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, I think it's a really confusing time with a lot of this, where I think you have to look at everything with clarity, with swiftness, I also struggle a little bit because I do think like our court system should be the judge and the jury.
True.
Not necessarily always like, it's not necessarily the league's thing to always have to like be the judge and the jury on. It's like, okay, I understand that this person has been like, someone saying that this happened, but like let the court system work it out. And then,
But then our court system's pretty fucked up.
yeah, but that's
Especially
where
when it comes to domestic violence.
I get that, but so the league, so they're gonna do their own little trial. Yeah, I mean, I guess they have the money to do it, so they should probably do the due diligence of it.
Well, with some of these allegations, because
But they're not gonna have the leverage that like a court system's gonna be how to like subpoena people, bringing them in, get real testimony.
they might, if you have under your contract, if you have that in contracts, you do, because you don't have a job then. Like you are under like NBA law, if you will.
True. Okay.
I mean, look at Ja, like Ja Morant's out, like all of these things, like they're held to a standard in certain areas.
Yeah. I mean, I do think they should have something where it's like, okay, if this is happening and the courts are like looking at this as like a real thing, like you are not playing right now
Yeah.
until the courts figure it out.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. Like, how do you find the perfect middle ground? But I think there does need to be like an independent investigation by the leagues. They have money.
Yeah, I guess if they have the money to do it, that makes sense.
They do.
It's such a tough situation.
It's very tough.
you can't just ostracize them. But at the same time, this happened probably more than you would even could imagine.
Well, and so like one of the things that's happening, I don't want to get his name wrong. I think it was Michael Porter Jr.'s or I can't remember which player, but there's one player who the cops came. It was like ridiculous, all of these things. Like he threw crazy shit at her, and she's a WNBA player, but now she's coming back and saying it wasn't a thing. But that's classic domestic violence behavior of a partner saying he was just kidding or we were just joking or nothing happened. Like that's very classic where the courts are actually being like, no, this is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a league or easy, I think I almost put more emphasis on the team in a sense, only because of one reason. If your first string quarterback comes drunk to a game, the league can't kick him out, but the coach can fire him.
Can they not?
Well, like, what would be against the rules? Like, you're drunk at the game. But when it comes to the standard of the team,
is that not
the
an
team's
NFL
like,
rule?
you can't be drunk
Yeah.
on our team. So I would almost put a little bit more onus on the individual teams.
Sure.
To say, if this is even muddy and this is like back and forth and we see some character issues in you, dude, you're not on.
That's true, and they like know the players more than anyone. Like their character more than.
Yeah. So if I was a fan of wherever Dwight Howard is playing right now, I would put more onus on like the team and go, I don't care what the league thinks.
Yeah.
I don't care what the law thinks. If you're actually doing these types of things and it gets messy enough that it's confusing, I don't think you should be a part of our franchise.
That's true.
And then
bring it more centralized.
Yeah, just because like that's how, because I just think with like character issues, you can be not do anything unlawful, but you shouldn't be a part of a franchise a lot of the times. Like,
is it illegal to be drunk or under the influence at professional games? So our producer says that you can get fined, but it is not illegal.
well, it's like, for example, like a team could have rules that on game night you have to be in bed at 10 p.m.
True.
And we're gonna check up on you.
Yeah.
And so regardless of you even drinking, be like, hey, like you need to be in the team hotel.
Yeah.
You don't show up at the team hotel at 10, that team can be like, hey, you're not playing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's where you can go above and beyond like the law.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knows though? I guess because the league does need to address it, right? Because it's widespread.
Well, it's just like it's been happening for years. I think it just continues to happen and continues to be like just a bad look. Just a bad look.
Right.
It's not a good situation. Like, how have we not learned yet?
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, it's on these players too. Like, you can't have like all these like random sexual encounters all the time and think that like at some point some girl's not going to turn around and be like, hey, that didn't feel right.
That's true. Yeah, Josh Gordon played drunk every game. I mean, like high and like crazy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think Marshawn Lynch even said that he was take like shots of Henny.
He played great.
Yeah.
See, like a Marshawn Lynch, for example, if he's like, well, I drink and play, be like,
all right.
Well, yeah, you do.
Yeah, like
let's talk about like sponsorships and like let's get it on the field and like make a thing of it.
Yeah, like how do you not have like the Hennessy end zone?
Yeah,
you know,
first quarter touchdowns, like he takes his shot still.
Yeah,
that's how he plays.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Barney's Beanry in West Hollywood.
Woo!
Chaos right now. It's a calm before the storm before everything out here gets nutty during Halloween. Oh, we're chilling. We're having fun. So you're going to NOLA for Halloween.
Yep.
You already got your risque costume.
Revolutionary whores.
That's a crazy costume to have.
It's great.
You have a whole crew going.
Whole crew of degenerates, and which is funny because now I'm learning that like myself and my friends are really non-degenerates. That's what this
That's what you learned?
Yeah, I feel like this is what producing male podcasts has taught me, is that I'm really not much of a degenerate. I also feel like I haven't done much in LA. That's like the biggest takeaway.
I've been bothered this week to learn how many men have been asked to get blown
Yeah.
for like
For money.
tens of thousands of dollars.
And you've never been approached.
Never been approached once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
There's good money out here for dudes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they're
like-
generally like,
Like 10K is like the starting rate to like suck a dick. To like, get your dick sucked.
yeah. But you have to, it seems,
Yes. Correct.
but
Multiple people
From-
have confirmed this.
you have to have a good body though.
Yeah, yeah.
You really do have to have like
You
a
gotta
good
be-
stature.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely what they're getting off on is like turning the straight guy low gay. It's guys offering. Yeah. Oh no.
Well, some women are paying.
Who is that?
Some of those Beverly Hills housewives.
Oh, well that's different. Yeah, we learned all about that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mhm.
This is the content that you're missing on Purple Banter. Make sure you subscribe, like,
It's just-
follow.
yeah. We're getting to the end of the night here. This is just the reality of it. We're gonna be out here every single Thursday.
We may need to get some heaters out here.
It's gonna get chilly. It's gonna be sweater
Oh,
weather.
you know what? They have heaters. There is heaters.
Allow us to get a better merch on the site.
Ooh, yeah.
So go check that out.
Sweatshirts.
Barbie's locker room merch is going hot right now.
Yep.
We got some other Purple Banter stuff out there. We're gonna get Barney's stuff. On that
Banter
site
at Barney's hats coming soon. We should drop that with the LA Times article.
soon. Yes.
We should just drop that hat like next week.
It's got to happen.
We're dropping the hat next week. What's happening?
Yeah, the Barney's Beanry, Banter at Barney's hat, sign
It's
hat,
dope.
the classic, the OG.
We should probably bring Sharpies to like sign for our fans next week.
We could. It's been getting so ruckus out here. It's hard
Yeah.
to keep up.
I know.
So I think we're good though.
I think we're good.
Over and out. Banter at Barney's. Love you all. God bless. See you next week.